This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, ladies and gentlemen. I am back in action. I was on vacation for a little while, so I had to step out of the action. But now I'm back, you know what I mean? And we ready to go. Enjoyed my time. I was out in the West Coast. I was in San Diego. It's beautiful out there. My goodness. I see why all the rappers move to Cali. You know what I mean? LA in particular, but still, I see why everybody moves to Cali because it's just my first time in California. It's beautiful, real beautiful. Got my brother Tony Crow here, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this basketball game with the OKC Thunder. I'm just going to start off and say it. This is the kind of game. This is the kind of loss. Let me say that. This is the kind of loss, ladies and gentlemen, that I can deal with. I don't want to lose. I don't like to lose. But if you're going to lose, at least lose in good fashion. And while the Knicks didn't shoot the ball particularly well, it was a defensive battle. It was a playoff game. You understand what I'm saying? It was a playoff game. The Knicks lost it 103 to 100. But they had a chance to tie the game. And, this is the type of game you take back. You go back to the drawing board and you say, if we do this, and this, we walk away with a victory, right? This is a good win. You know what I mean? You can't help but to enjoy games like this. And this is the type of, hopefully, this is the type of game, the type of loss. I said it's a good win. It's a good loss. This is the type of loss that, the Knicks have been playing good basketball, but propels you forward. But when you think about the circumstances behind the game, you're playing the world champs, you're playing them at home, you just played Toronto last night, right? It's a back-to-back situation, and you go down, you got a chance to win the game, and, you go down in regulation. Yeah, you had to come back a couple of times. I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you gave yourself a chance to win. And they almost got the job done. So I got my brother Tony here. We're going to break this one down. We're going to talk about this one, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about this one. Let me just get my information on the board first. Then I'm going to bring Tony over so we can break this one. Tony, they can hear you. So before I get you over there, just your quick thoughts. And then I'm going to bring you in real quick.
First off, welcome back, son.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? We missed you.
Yeah, I was looking. I was trying to get some. Hey, can someone do the what you call it for me? But it was, people got family obligations, so obviously, in my brain, it's always family first. So always. But anyway, go ahead, bro.
No, and if there's such thing as an impressive loss, this was it.
This is it.
You know what I mean? Halftime, I had to run and go take a break, and I was talking to his mom, and I'm like, we down by 10, and if this was 2 weeks ago, we'd be down by 20. You know what I mean? And I'm like, the refs ain't doing us no favors. You know what I mean? On either side of the ball.
Right.
I said, I feel like we're going to come back and win this one.
Right.
She's like, yeah, all right, whatever. But, they withstood the refs. Like early on, obviously they was doing their arguing. Mike Brown got his technical. I think Brunson almost got, you know what I mean? Like he he could have got a technical. I think Towns could have got a technical just from, disputing and arguing. But and it was warranted.
Yeah.
But second half, they came in and played the way they were supposed to. Didn't let any of that affect them. Set the tone.
Right.
And impressive comeback. 2 chances to win at the end. Brunson missed one, and OG missed one. But yeah, you gotta love the fight and the collective effort. From everybody.
No doubt.
Brunson didn't have a particularly good game. You know what I mean?
Right.
We withstood that. So there's a lot of things that we weren't able to do in the past. Withstand a bad Brunson game. You know what I mean? Cat shot the ball great, but didn't have, I don't think he had 10 shots. You know what I mean? Or it might have been close to, you know what I mean? It wasn't a high volume of shots, but still, it was okay. He played good defense. You know what I mean? He hit the boards, offensive rebound like crazy. Yeah. Great win. I mean, great. Impressive loss.
Impressive loss. Yeah. There you go. And for some reason, I lost your video up here. This is what happens when you come back off of vacation. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna throw the logo up and get comfortable.
It ain't even that. It's on my end. It ain't even that. But we got you back up there now. There we go. So we good. Now it wasn't even that. It was on my end, on the OBS end. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good now. It's all good. I think I think that with this loss, obviously, the Knicks have been struggling with beating like Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Struggling with these guys. I think with this loss, because even with if the Knicks would have lost to Detroit in the fashion that they lost tonight, okay, they came back, right? They came back again, and all right, you ended up losing the basketball game, but you proved that you're gonna have against a championship level team, that you're gonna have the wherewithal, you're gonna have the fight, you're gonna have the grit to be able to come back and battle, that you're gonna continuously battle. You know what I'm saying? Which they didn't show that against Detroit. You're talking about the best 2 teams in the league, right? The best 2 teams in the league. The Knicks did not show that against Detroit. They haven't shown that against Detroit all season long. But to show it against the Thunder, goes a long way, in my opinion. No, they didn't win the game. And of course, Jalen Williams is out. There'll be a lot of people that say that. But this is something that, in my opinion, the Knicks needed. Because I just feel like they needed to be able to prove to everyone, including us, including themselves, that they can beat a championship level team. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it was necessary for the Knicks to prove it.
I think
or at least
bigger.
Compete. I said beat, but compete.
Yeah, I think it was bigger for the team as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, again, going back to the whole Brunson not particularly playing well, you look at Landry Shamit's third quarter, right? In particular, like, this is what we really need to kind of showcase or just know that guys are able to step up at different moments. And that's what could make us the most dangerous. You know what I mean? You don't know who's going to beat you. You don't know who's going to step up. You take Brunson away, we have weapons. Now, we got to figure out how to utilize them. But I think during this course of this, 20 games now, we've been figuring that out. Whether he's playing well or not, whether Cat is playing well or not, whether such and such is playing well, other guys are finding other ways to impact the game.
Right. What do you take on Cat's play today? Fouled out the game.
He did.
Right, fouled out the game. But what's your overall, your overall take on this play
I
tonight.
mean that was the Achilles heel because I thought he played a good game. He wasn't super or overly aggressive, which most times I kill him for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're that efficient, I don't think he took a three at all, which I don't like that. That may be another thing I would point out as a negative. But for the most part, man, if he's going to offensive rebound the way he was tonight and affect the game
Mm-hmm.
in other ways and shoot the ball at that clip,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I can't even, you know what I mean? I can't be mad at
nine
him not
offensive.
taking 15 to 20 shots, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
9
shooting
offensive
the three.
rebounds for him tonight.
Say that again?
He had 9 offensive rebounds tonight.
9, like, come on. You gonna do that.
Yeah,
Can't say nothing wrong,
9 offensive
right?
rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds, 17 rebounds overall tonight for Cat. 17 points.
And how many shots he missed? 3?
He was 7 for 8.
7 for 8, 1.
7 for 8. He missed 1 shot tonight. Yep, 7 for 8. I mean, you would like him to take more than 8 shots, obviously. You know what I mean? I mean, when you go down the lineup, Brunson took 18 shots. Bridges took 17 shots. OG took 17 shots. Josh Hart took 11 shots. Landry Shamet took 9 shots.
I thought there was a point, and I think it was in the second quarter where they went away from Cat, because again, like he shot the ball well, he just didn't have many attempts. There was a point in the second quarter where they kind of went away from him, and I thought that was that part of the game hurt us.
Yeah,
because he had an advantage tonight too. So, but you can't. He still he didn't let that affect him.
No, he's affecting the game positively, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? He's having a positive effect on the basketball game, no matter what. Do you look at it and say this is it? This is the way we play. This is our offense. Cat's not going to get those touches like we hope. Are you just accepting that right now? That, hey, this is it. This is what it is. And let's be happy with it.
I think there's still room for growth though. So you know what I mean? Like, so I think we're behind the ball in that aspect, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I don't think we're maximizing Cat. But the way he's handling it, like the way he's accepting it, you know what I mean? I got to give credit to that part. You know what I mean? Like, because it felt like early in the season, or you know what I mean? Like, and it may have been the trade rumors and all that other stuff, but you know what I mean? Like, it don't seem like it's affecting him. So I got to give him credit in that aspect. But I think we need more from him ultimately. But we're getting more from other guys, so I can't really be mad right now. You know what I mean? Like, Mikal is in a stretch right now where I think he's playing his best basketball. He's still not He's still not attracting contact, but I'd say he's having the most dunks that I've seen him have in this stretch. You know what I mean? Than all of last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's leaning better into some things that I think we need. Josh Hart, they figuring out how to work around them putting the center on him, which I think is going to be a staple in the playoffs. Right. You know what I mean? So they're figuring that out right now in this stretch. I think the Knicks are getting better, which is a good thing. But for us to be our best, we gotta utilize Cat more. You know what I mean? I'm not just talking about tonight with 8 shots. I'm saying in general, we gotta figure out how to utilize mismatches. Because that's another thing that we're gonna see when they're putting the center on Josh Hart. They're also putting a small on Cat, and in their mind, the defense, that's advantages on two guys right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now I definitely get it. He's got to be an anchor for us. You know, he's got to be an anchor.
even JB, he's getting better. What do you have? Like 14 assists tonight?
15
I
assists.
still don't
15
think
assists
he
tonight.
finds Cat enough, but
Yeah.
you got to credit what he's doing and just finding people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. 15 assists tonight.
15.
You know,
That's probably a career high.
and the Knicks played against a tough defense, obviously. Right? Super tough defense. Shout out to Walter White. Thank you for the super chat. Says salute to you, my brother. Glad to be back. You know what I mean? Glad to be back. 17 rebounds though. Like you said, he's getting in where he can get in. Still had 17 points. The Knicks are definitely going to need this guy to be a little bit more of a threat come playoff time. You know, they got to figure that out. I don't know. They got to figure that out. I think, for this year, I'm not sure I don't know if it happens this year though, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because this is the way they play this year. This is the way they play. This is who they are, I think, right now. And, how do you, with just 20 games left to the season, how do you, how do you do it when this is who they are? This is how they've been winning, right? How do you do it?
I said the same thing last year. Pardon me. I said the same thing last year with Thibodeau. As far as I didn't think he was gonna figure it out last year, and it would take this year to do it. But to your point, I think it may definitely take Mike Brown another year because they're more familiar with them not doing it, you know what I mean, than actually doing it anyway. So they're more set in their ways, like to your point.
Yeah. But why is it this year that he's taking so many less shots than last year?
I think number one, last year it was an adjustment for Cat, you know what I mean? But he was the clear number 2 guy, right?
Yeah.
Not saying he's not that this year, but there's more mouths to feed. You know what I mean? So his sacrifice is the biggest, to be honest.
More mouths to feed with who though? Because if
McCall is gonna take a step up from what we saw last year, which we thought he should have had. If OG is gonna take a step up, you know what I mean? You got the hypothetical, but you got the addition of Clarkson, which we thought, you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, last year would have been easier for him to stay in his mode of where he's been. He was the number 2 coming from Minnesota with Edwards, if not the number 1 or sharing out, however he felt, you know what I mean? So it's easier from that first year coming here to stay in that mode and then make an adjustment this year. And you got to make the adjustment. Like we knew coming in, or we thought Brunson and Cat was going to have the biggest adjustments, and it was going to be easier for everybody else. It just so happens that he had the biggest adjustment.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm not sure if the sound is coming through your mic. It might be coming through your computer or headphones, but I'm not sure if it's coming through your mic right now.
It might be. It's been off for a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it was a defensive battle tonight. The Knicks only gave up 103 points. The defense has been obviously playing better, but the Knicks only scored 100 points tonight. They did not shoot the ball well, 42% from the field tonight, 28% from the three-point line tonight. But listen, that's the reason why, the Knicks have played that style, shot the ball that bad in other games. But against lesser competition, against weaker teams, against sometimes terrible teams, when you do that against a team like this, you understand why it happens against a team like OKC, right? Because OKC is a championship level team with probably the best defense in the NBA. It's going to be hard to get what you want against OKC. Now, against a team, a worse team, and you shoot that bad, all right, sometimes you're going to have a bad shooting night. I understand that. You understand? But if you're a championship level team, you don't have a whole lot of those bad shooting nights against bad teams. And the Knicks this season, they've been up and down. But tonight, and they've had a decent stretch of basketball, but tonight you can understand why they shoot this bad against the OKC Thunder. It's a playoff type game, a playoff type atmosphere. They still had a chance to win the basketball game. Now what happens? They figure out how to get over that hump to win the basketball game. You understand what I'm saying? You get me? So yeah, there's a lot to feel confident about coming from this basketball game. I'll say that. A lot to feel confident about. A lot to feel good about. We're down to the last 19 games of the season, Tony? What's your thoughts on these last 19 games? Like, how, the Knicks they seem to be locking in. How much more will they lock in? I think the rotation is probably fully rounded out. We're seeing Mo is going to get the nod, it seems like. Sohan, a minute, 36, 30 whatever minutes to a minute and 30 whatever seconds today. He made an
impact in that minute.
Huh?
He made an impact in that minute.
Yeah. But
he got a jump ball.
He got a jump ball. Mo, 13 minutes tonight. Do you think I was about to say Thibodeau, do you think that Mike Brown has kind of settled in on his lineups, rotations and lineups?
Yeah, I think that was evidence. I would say, honestly, in your absence, the two games you've been gone, he kind of settled in. I say a week ago or so, we was talking about the inconsistencies and him having to make a decision and kind of having to choose on which way he was going to go.
Yeah.
Can't really figure it out at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or guess at this point.
Yeah.
You gotta pick something and go with it. I think he did.
Yeah. How you think Sohan is feeling, after leaving the championship contender in San Antonio, figuring you're gonna come to the Knicks championship contender and play, and then now it's it's not.
To be honest, I think he's fine because it is what it is. He wasn't playing there. I think he will get an opportunity at some point. You know what I mean? It's maybe spotty, but I think at this point it's really about impacting the game when you come in. You know what I mean? I think he has that kind of attitude anyway.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be too concerned.
Yeah, I don't, I don't think he's gonna cause anything. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not wishing on it, but Diawara is young enough to go through a slump at some point, or you know what I mean? I don't think it's particularly true. We'll see, but the lights might be too bright at some point. You know what I mean? Where he may have to sit and we make an adjustment. So I think everything's up in the air and open.
Yeah.
But he don't have the history, the track record with the team, the familiarity with the team. So it's an uphill battle regardless.
You mean for Sohan?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's without a doubt, it's an uphill battle for him. Coming to a team so late. Obviously, if you're a star, then you're gonna play, or or if you're like Alvarado, Spark, you know what I'm saying, and you really fit into a slot, or somebody who, Deuce was out, you're gonna play.
How they always say star in your role?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you got to do.
Yeah.
You don't got to be the star player, but your role, you got to star in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that Mike Brown is kind of settling in, has settled in on his lineups, really. Walter White, thank you for the super chat. He said, Mike Brown isn't settled. Are you worried? I'm not worried right now because I do think he is settled in on it. Was I worried before? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I worried that, at some point he might not settle in? Or he might not. I don't know if I'm worried about that. I think he is settled in, so I'm not worried. You know what I mean? I think he's figured out who he wants to play, who gives him the production that he's looking for. You know what I mean? And he's, that's that. That's that. What else? What else can we do? You know what I mean? Fred Wong said, "What happens when Deuce comes back?" I think it's when Deuce comes back. I think it's a 10-man rotation. I think that because right now when Mitch is there, you're basically playing with a 9-man rotation, right? When Deuce comes back, I think he becomes the 10th guy. I think then it's Deuce, Shamit, Alvarado, Mo, and Mitch, who's in the rotation. You know what I mean? It kind of, we talked about that earlier. As soon as Alvarado was traded, we wasn't sure how many minutes Alvarado was going to get. He obviously ended up getting decent minutes, and I think when Deuce comes back, he continues to get those minutes, and you have that type of a small lineup, but I think it's still a 10-man rotation. You think that? You agree with that, Tony? When Deuce comes back?
I do initially.
Mm-hmm.
Especially depending on how soon he comes back. I thought there was a report out, but I didn't catch like a timeline. But I heard there was like some good news with Deuce. So I don't know what that is. But if he's gonna come back and play before the playoffs, I don't think he lost his role, lost his spot. You know what I mean? But he will again have an uphill battle if Alvarado continues to impact the game. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if he plays 10. It's like I said before. I think it's a 10-man rotation, but like two guys are like they might play this series. They may not. They might play this game. They may not. I don't think it's 10 games night in, night out. You know what I mean? I think a series might dictate who's the 10th guy or who's the 9th guy. You know what I mean? And who's not. I think a matchup might determine it. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess we'll find that out when the playoffs actually get here. I got my brother Spree on the line. Spree, what's good with you, bro? How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, man. It hurts, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it.
You can't be mad about this one, Spree.
Nah.
You can't be mad about this one.
No. I mean, look, we have definitely played better defense of late. We brought some physicality on defense that we wanted to see all year. And so that's a positive. Let's just bottom line. We couldn't guard earlier in the year. We are now playing defense. We're more tied together on that end, which is good. Couple things.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have gotten Cat a couple more looks. I thought he played a great game. He played within the flow. I just again, it's about recognizing things. Some of it's on Cat where he's getting knocked off his spot, but some of it too is I feel like I still think we can do a better job of getting him the ball. It's not just on Brunson. I think it's on Cat. I don't know. I felt like he could have got more opportunities.
I mean, I guess he could have, but as we were discussing, maybe this is just going to be it for the rest of this season, and then next season you try to work some. They try to figure out some more. Maybe this is just going to be it.
Well, I want to figure it out now because I don't want to win. I want to win the championship.
Yeah, I know, but how much time do you have to figure it out without now disrupting what you're already doing?
It's hard, but I don't know. I'm just like, these are the types of games where like I hope they go back and look. Like it's this game. I don't know. There's been a couple games. It's not every game, obviously. Certain times against these physical teams, I feel like they're. I'm hoping they go back and look like here. No, Cat, you got to reset the screen, and then Brunson, you got to find him on the roll. Or Cat, if you're getting knocked off your spot, you got to do something to demand the ball. You got to do. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just think it's a problem, and it's clear that it's against the physical defenses. But I also, another thing on Josh Hart, I want to just, let's be honest. Josh Hart figured it out in the second half of that Spurs game. But you remember, the starters got off to a slow start in that Spurs game too. You remember that?
Yep.
And so we got off to a slow start tonight again, the starters, and the bench had to bail them out. I guess my question is, are you riding with Josh Hart in the starting lineup for eternity here?
For the remainder of this season, I am.
You don't think they're going to switch the starting lineup at this point?
No. I wouldn't. Let me say that. I wouldn't.
Okay.
All right. I wouldn't.
So we're rolling with Josh Hart, and if they leave him open and he's not making shots, is Mike Brown going to give him a quick hook?
Maybe. I mean, who's your alternative? Shamit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I think Shamit's playing pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, he is. He's playing great basketball. I just wouldn't disrupt what we've already been doing. I feel like
I got you.
At this point in the season, unless there's like a serious injury or something, I feel like at this point in the season, you wait till next year.
I don't think that was why we lost, though. I want to be clear. The starters got off to a slow start again, but when I say I think Josh Hart, obviously he comes and goes. I thought he figured it out beautifully in the second half. Even when they were leaving him open, he was re-screening. He had like 7 assists. I know what Josh Hart brings to the table. I'm just saying that starting lineup can get us off to not the quickest start, but you're not panicking. You're going with it.
Yeah, I'm going with it. I'm not going to panic.
Okay, and one other question for you. I know this is people haven't, but like, are you done with Jordan Clarkson?
Yes.
Is Jordan Clarkson officially done?
If it's me, I'm done with it. I'm done with him. Unless we need, in the playoffs, we're looking for some kind of spark. Then yeah, I'm done.
Because I'll just say this, I understand he's not a good defender. I get that. I understand we're trying to limit the rotation and you need guys that can both guard and score. I get the whole thing. I will just make one comment on Jordan Clarkson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played well in that NBA Cup game, which I thought was a big game.
That was a long time.
And Jordan,
ago.
I know. I know. But let me just say this on Jordan Clarkson, and I'm being serious. Although we've gotten better at screening the last couple of games, I do think they've tried to do a better job screening, and it's been a problem all year with this team is to get guys free and stuff. Jordan Clarkson, one of the few guys on this team. Again, I understand he's not a good defender. I'm trusting Mike Brown, But I still believe Jordan Clarkson is one of the few guys on this team that doesn't need a screen. He can actually get into the paint and do a couple things for me against physical defenses. I just want to say that. I still do believe that about Jordan Clarkson. I understand he's not playing, getting DNPs. I understand he shouldn't play a ton. He's not playing at all. I'm just saying, I personally still think there is value to him, but I'm not at practice every day.
I just don't think he fits the style that Mike Brown wants to play because he's very dribble heavy, a little bit unpredictable with his shot selection and decision making, and I feel like he disrupts the offense and what the Knicks do. I could see it from the beginning of the season. He was getting quick hooks. He wasn't getting the minutes that everyone thought that he was going to get. He'd have a couple of good games, but then Mike Brown, as soon as he had a bad game, was giving him the hook again. But Shamet plays the style that I think Mike Brown wants, and plus he's a lights out 3-point shooter, where Jordan Clarkson isn't as lights out. Well, he's not efficient really from the 3-point line.
That's fair.
He's more of a dribble guy. Shamet's probably a better defender. I don't even want to say probably is a better defender.
He is a better defender, no doubt. I just Shamet's definitely a better 3-point shooter. I'm just saying, getting into that paint, finishing around the rim against. I'm just saying we have not. Okay, yeah, Orlando's a physical team. We score a lot of points against them. The Raptors are physical, so to be fair, but when we played against the Pistons, those 3 games, I consider OKC a very physical defense. We're scoring like 90, 100. Like, I'm just saying, maybe, I don't know. There were a couple times tonight where I'm like, I could use Clarkson for 3 minutes out there. Maybe he can give me a little bit of a punch, but I'm a little drunk right now. But, nah, man, I'm actually positive on the team. I think they're fighting, they're competing. I'll say this last thing before I go. Brunson, I understand he had a tough night and he has a tough assignment, but I thought there was a stretch in that fourth quarter because he didn't have it going really most of the game. And I understand he's trying to get himself going, Sim, but I thought he forced a couple. He had 15 assists. I thought he could have had 20 assists.
Okay.
I thought there was like a 2-minute stretch where Brunson, he kind of held it a little. For most of the game, he was trusting. But I'm just saying, Sam, there was a couple times he didn't have it most of the night. He was trying to get himself going. I know he's a scorer, but there were a couple times where I'm like, Jalen, just get off of it. They're loading up. Get off of it. But I don't know. I'll watch the film, but we'll get there, Sam. I think we're going to play OKC again. We'll get there.
Yeah. When do we play him again? When do we play him next?
I feel like we're playing them in their place, right?
Yeah, we'd play him in OKC.
I think that's March 29th.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we'll see them again. I don't know if Jalen Williams will be back, but
let's try to get one there.
Sam, I'm positive. Towns is playing better. He's playing good defense. We're setting better screen. The screening was a real problem this whole year, but Mo is a revelation. He's shooting the rock. They're finally being physical on offense with the screens. I just think Brunson can read things better. We got to get Cat more opportunity, and we'll see, Sam. They're getting better. They're getting better. I'll just say that.
Well, they're getting better. They're getting much better defensively.
They have, and that's the only chance we have if we're going to actually do anything. So that's why I'm actually positive. I mean, it's just I want it now, but you can't. The championship isn't played tonight, so they'll figure it out.
No doubt.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Peace. Tony, your thoughts on the Jordan Clarkson question?
It's funny because I was thinking I still feel like he could impact a playoff game and win us a game, but it made me want to ask you, who would you give more likely to impact a playoff win, Sohan or Clarkson at this point?
At this point, Sohan probably. Because I don't, Jordan Clarkson's getting DNPs. We get into a game where somebody's going off and you need a guy like Sohan I don't think he'll hesitate to go to him. He may hesitate a little bit to go to Jordan Clarkson if we scored 100 points tonight.
Yeah, and somebody asked about Deuce. Deuce coming back, that don't help Clarkson's chances of getting in the game.
Exactly. I'm not seeing where there's space for him. You know what I'm saying? If you were gonna use Jordan Clarkson on a night when you need scoring, wouldn't tonight be a night? Like Spree just said, right? Tonight would be a night that you say, okay, let's throw him out there, see if he can get hot. And he doesn't sniff the floor. So, I'm just not seeing Jordan Clarkson being a favorite of Mike Brown. Yeah, I don't see that he's gonna play. And I kind of get it because you have your style of play. You know what I'm saying, and you settle in on it. This is who we are. This is how we play. And I got to play the guys that fit my style.
So this is, and again, I'm exaggerating, but so this is an indictment on the front office, right? Because they grabbed these two guys before they had a coach in mind, and or I should say in mind, but a coach, you know what I mean, on the team to what's the collaborate with.
To collaborate with. Exactly. Yeah, no doubt about that.
You know what I mean?
That's the truth.
Y'all be gone. Clarkson out the rotation. You brought in two guys that seemingly fit Mike Brown more. Probably Tom Thibodeau too, but I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah. Nah. I mean that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That it would be on the front office. You know what I mean? They made the move before. That's one of the. Yeah. You talk about collaboration. Collaborate. If you're gonna talk about collaboration, then you got to collaborate. Then then you wait. I mean, I
shout
guess
out to them for making the adjustment, right? Bringing in Alvarado. They brought in Sohan. You know what I mean? I'm sure if they could have, or if Clarkson wanted to go somewhere, I'm sure they would have made that move too. You know what I mean? Who's to say he? You know what I mean? He said, "Hey, I'll ride it out.
Yeah,
I'll be a soldier."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I'm sure if he wanted to go, they would have found a way.
Right. And also, I guess if you're the front office and you have to, at that point, maybe you had to make the move, even though you didn't have the play, you didn't have the coach. You said, you know what, we got to get talent in here. We'll let him deal with the talent, but we got to get the talent in here.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess you kind of got to do that.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
You gotta do something.
You know what I mean? Like free agency is moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? Guys are getting signed, you lose opportunities. So if you envision I was overreacting when I said it, but you know what I mean? It just made me laugh when you was talking about Clarkson. It made me think about Yabusele, and I'm like, the and I said it from the beginning. You know what I mean? When we brought these guys in, I'm like, oh, they doubling down on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
they and here they go. Later on, they bring in defensive additions.
Right.
So that's the angle I was coming from.
Yeah. Nah, and you're right. You know what I'm saying? They double down on offense because, well, I don't know.
I mean, Yabusele, there was really no talk of him being a good defender. It was talk of him being multiple positional, but I thought that was like on the offensive end, small ball five, whatever the case. And we know the MO of Clarkson.
Yeah,
it in that. So
yeah, But I guess part of it too was they doubled down, but they wanted to get talent in, get talent in. You know what I'm saying? Get talent in to make sure the coach has talent to work with.
Yeah.
As it comes down to it, he's only using so much of the talent because that's the way it kind of goes. And he's taking the season to figure out who he's going to use and not use and all of that stuff.
And Diawara's emergence may not only be a direct result of Yabusele being like that may affect Clarkson. You know what I mean? In one way, shape or form. So
yeah, I don't know, man. How are you feeling just about where the Knicks are right now?
I ain't gonna front. I love it. It's the complete opposite of that 2-9 stretch because this 20-game stretch we still number one defense in the league in that stretch. I want to say we've kept the most teams under 100 points in that stretch. And to look at the jump of where we were, talking points. I remember we was questioning, can we be a top 10 defense? It looked like a long shot, like maybe 14, maybe you know what I mean, maybe 12. But look at us now at 7, I think. So
yeah, let me ask you this: right now, as it stands, the Knicks are a game and a half behind the Boston Celtics. They're in the 3rd seed. They'd face off against the Philadelphia 76ers. How would you feel about, who knows who's going to be playing for the Sixers, but how you feel about that matchup?
I expect a victory. I expect some revenge from Mitchell Robinson. I expect I respect the 76ers as a dangerous team. I respect Joel Embiid to be able to win a series. But honestly, for them to win the first round series against us right now, that would be some storybook shit because, like, you know what I mean? They would be cleaning up a lot of things with Paul George coming back late in the year. And you know what I mean? Like being healthy for a series or whatever the case. Yeah, I think it's a long shot. Yeah. I think if people were actually like saying, who would I prefer to play out of all the potential playoff contenders, I think Philly would be high on the list.
Okay. I mean, right now, the Knicks would be facing off against Philly. If the playoffs started today, they play Philly, who is currently the 6th seed. Depending on where the Knicks end up, let me see. The 7th seed is Orlando. The 8th seed is Miami. The Knicks jump up into that second spot.
Everybody else, I think, is a least favorable matchup. Orlando, Miami, like whoever you name, Charlotte. Like I wouldn't want to play them in the first round, to be honest. Like if you talk about like just preference,
right?
But take on whoever's in front of us.
I mean, we take on whoever. Philadelphia is fully assembled. Philadelphia is tough,
formidable.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. They're definitely tough when you're talking about a fully assembled team. So that would be a tough matchup. Can the Knicks beat them? Of course they can beat them. But it would be a tough matchup. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're talking about Paul George being there, Joel Embiid being there, Tyrese Maxey, you know what I mean, and the other young kid, that's a tough matchup. That's a tough matchup. And I already see Sean, what do you mean, Sam? Knicks should steamroll Philly in the first round. Everyone knows it's never that easy. Everyone knows that. You know what I mean? Just respect your opponent, Sean.
That's where I'm trying to go with it. But if you're being honest, Like, if you got it picked, I would be more nervous about any other opponent, I think.
Okay. All right. I mean, listen, I don't want to say there's parity, but there could be some tough matchups across the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let me get to a phone call. Call you live. Name me where you're from, please.
Sim, I'll be right back.
I bet.
That's Walter White calling from Atlanta.
Walter, what's going on, my brother? How you feeling, man?
I feel all right. You hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
All right, that's what's up. Yo, the fourth quarter, I feel like Brown fumbled it. Why would he start the fourth quarter with the starting five when he never did that? In the last 3-4 weeks, we never did that. He started out the fourth quarter with the starting five, and he didn't bring Diawara back or Alvarez back in the fourth quarter at the second half. It felt, I feel like he's tinkering. I'm hoping he's learning from what he's tinkering with. And well, other than that, Brunson didn't shoot good. Cat, defensively he got out of whack a little bit, but he still held it down. But everything else, it felt good. But to start them the fourth quarter, and then he took Hart out. I know Hart tweaked his back a little bit, so he couldn't play like how he wanted to.
Right.
And he substituted him out. He put Shamit in, and then for like 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, he ran that lineup when Mo. But, we'll find out. We'll see. But I don't know, man. I just feel like, the tinkering of the lineups. I know a lot of stuff went against us this tonight. But I think the tinkering of the lineups, especially in the start of the fourth quarter, when you bring Cash back with Alvarez and you sit Brunson and then you changed it all. And I don't know, you changed it all against the champions of the league. I'm figuring that you're looking for some type of data. I hope you got it.
Yeah.
Hope you got it.
Is it because of the? Listen, I agree with you. At this point in the season, you want to have your data, and you're just trying to hone it in, right? Trying to hone it in, but we kind of knew that he was still working on his lineups but to give him a little bit of grace. This is the reason why I've always said I don't expect them to be, my expectation is not NBA Finals this year. Because in my opinion, it takes a year at least to really learn your players, learn your lineups and all of that. It takes a little while to do that. And then, second year, third year, like you know your guys. You know what I'm saying? You know how they're going to react. You know things that are going to happen. And then now you really understand how to master those lineups. I think right now, he's still feeling that out, still learning. And the playoffs is going to be learning as well. Right? In the playoffs, he's going to be figuring out how do these guys react under pressure? Who can I rely on?
I pray he don't crumble in the playoffs. But common sense tells you at the beginning of the fourth quarter, even if you bring your starting five out at the beginning of it, at 10 minutes, 9 minutes in, you bring Diawara and Alvarez back because they were the ones who helped you in the second and the third quarter, or help you keep afloat because you was losing. I don't know. But I'm hoping he learned. Because I learned a lot. I'm hoping he did too.
Yeah. And he's going to keep learning. There's going to be a lot of learning. You know what I'm saying? All the way through the playoffs, there's going to be learning. You know what I mean? All the way through the playoffs, there's going to be mad learning. So I think Yeah, we just gotta. I don't know. I think we
No,
got to deal. I think we got to deal with it this year. I think we got to deal with the learning this year.
Listen, calm down. Calm down.
I'm just saying we got to
still
deal with the learning this
I
year.
still think
Learning while winning. Learning while winning.
I still think we contenders this year. But I'm not overly hoping, but I think we got enough to win. Like our defense, we got the best defense that I've seen since Leon Rose took over.
Okay.
And some games it's not, it don't look the same way as it looked against Brooklyn or whoever. But we got the best defense that I've seen, and if you're the top 5 in the defense when the playoffs start, you have a good chance of being the top defense at the end of the league. And that's all that really matters. We know we're not hitting shots. We know things that we can do. And we got it on tape. Things that we can do to score and other things, and just help out and just don't leave no wide open threes. And then I think we could be good. I mean, like your last caller said, Eddie was drunk. I'm a little drunk too, so I'm gonna get up out of here. I salute TC, salute to you too. Let's go, man. We gonna be there. We gonna be there.
No doubt. I feel you, bro. Appreciate you, Walter. Always. Yeah. Told that. I mean, I think I really do. I really do just think, this is a season of learning.
I think you always have to preference when you say that. So some members don't go crazy. Preface that by saying this don't mean you're not saying we can't win this year.
Yeah, I'm not saying we can't win the championship. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying we can't. I am saying most likely not, because I don't know if we have the chemistry, right? But I'm not saying we can't. So, like, if we didn't, me personally, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'd be disappointed if we don't make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. If we won it, I'm not going to be like super surprised either, because I do think that we could win. Say that again?
I said we have the talent.
We have it. You know what I'm saying? Is it totally put together? I don't think it's totally put together. As far as just like the team aspect, like being able to utilize and capitalize on everybody's strengths. I don't think it's there yet. But
and we haven't. I think, think about just the aspect of Mitch not playing back-to-backs,
right,
all year long, right? And what that does for the totality of the chemistry of the team,
right?
You know what I mean? Now you could argue Mitch not playing back-to-backs, does that open up an opportunity for data somewhere else, right?
Right.
What are we doing in those games? And what are we seeing in those games? But I still think there is a chance that we put it all together. You know what I mean? I don't know. This defensive stretch has me so encouraged because I did not see that in the cards.
Yeah. That's the part right there. That's the part. You know what I'm saying? That's the part.
So I'm like, if that happened, who knows if they could just put it together offensively, because that's where the true talent, you know what I mean? That's where the true talent is.
Right. That's the part right there. If the defense can stay, you know what I mean? The way that, can stay here, and then we find a way to make that offense really click. It's funny because the beginning of the season, it was opposite, right? Now, now the defense is here and we're like, okay, how do we get this offense to click? You know what I mean? If we can get the offense to click like that, got both of them humming. But this is just where I think it takes a year. But who knows? Something could always click. Something could always click. But coming from someone who coached a team through a state championship, right? I did have the experience to understand, to have that feeling of, I knew that we was going to be in the championship. It was like mid-January, and we just started knocking, and just everything just like really clicked on both sides of the ball. Not that we were always scoring mad points, but we had the right we knew what we were doing every time we stepped out there, offensively and defensively. You know what I'm saying? We had the right structure. We had the right leadership. And every time we stepped on the floor, I mean, we, you know, to make it to the state championship, I think we ended up winning, like, this is high school, so, you know, it's not mad games, but like 15 or 17 straight games or something like that. You know, when we won the championship, we hadn't lost. We won the championship in March. We hadn't lost a game since January, right? And every time we stepped on the floor, it didn't matter who we played, we felt like we were going to win. You know what I'm saying? Every defensive assignment, we would, boom, to a T. You know, we were taking, you know, we had players on the other team, like, looking like afraid because of the way that we could cue in on a player, because, you know, we just had that rhythm together. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't only us who could see it. It was other people could see it. You know what I'm saying? They could look at us and like, yo, they just like really got something going. No matter if we were playing a good team or a bad team that we're supposed to beat, they could just really see it. You know what I mean? And I could feel like, yo, we about to win the championship. You know what I'm saying? I could really feel it and see it. You know, and I think that it's the same way, even from a fan's perspective. You can look at a team and be like, you can just see like they're gonna do something. You know what I mean? I don't know if I fully see it.
Nah, to me, I see the progression though.
I see the progression. I see the progression. You know what I'm saying? Now let's see if we get, you know, maybe we get down to the last 10 games, and if they're really meaningful, you know what I mean, we see that, you know, we see something in them. You know, right now it's still growing. You know what I mean? And I just think it's gonna take that year to really to learn that team, the ins and outs of that team for Mike Brown.
And I think Toronto catches Philly.
Toronto catches Philly, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Toronto right now? They're not above Philly?
Are they?
I think they're above Philly.
Oh, they 5?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Philly's the 6th seed. Yeah. Toronto's 5 right now.
Pardon, so.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm about to head up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I can jump on tomorrow night. Maybe we can even get a stoop in tomorrow night. You know, but
I should tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. So I'm heading out, folks. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Be peaceful. One.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.